Just so you know, you're kicking it with K. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Vibes will flow. Just so you know, you're kicking it with K.
Hey y'all, what's up? Thank you for tuning in to another show of Kicking It with K Marie. I am your girl, K Marie. What up, though? So, those who are watching us for the very first time, again, I am K Marie. Thank you for coming over and checking us out. I'm always glad to hear of new people who find us, and they let me know that whatever we were talking about, whatever topic, that it resonated with them. So, and this is why I do what I do. Okay. All right. So, do me a favor, y'all. Whatever platform that you are listening to me on right now, go and hit that like, thumbs up, and just and while you're over there, you just hit the download button. That just lets you know when we produce an episode and you already be in the know, okay? So y'all know your girl. Y'all know it is the month of love. And you know that from the last episode we were talking about 7 signs of a toxic person and why you might want to get away from such a person. And today we're going to have the second part of this. I have someone on. She is a friend of the pod. She's been here before. Y'all know I bring on guests that's about their business. They know their business. Okay. So she is a great clinician, licensed, all that good stuff. And she is going to be talking to us about leaving a toxic relationship and giving us just some good, good information. Okay. Because you might be in something right now and it's like, okay, you talk a good game. It sounds good, but it's hard. And trust me, I know. Okay. I know. So I made it on the other side. So it's possible. Okay. It's possible. Um, you can find everything about K Marie and Kalani Harrelson. Y'all know that's my government, and that's what I go by with my filmmaking. So there is a for those who are watching, there is a link to everything that I'm doing with the podcast, with movies, upcoming projects that I am working on, and Patreon info. So just go to my link tree slash the K Marie. That's link tree linktr.ee slash THEKAYMARIE. Okay. All right. So without further ado, I am going to bring on my guest. So my guest is again, she is a licensed clinician. She is based in Georgia and she I've been knowing her for a very long time. A very long time. Okay, like in our early 20s. And when we first met, and she's just good people, and I love her to life. And I really value her wisdom and knowledge on life issues. So everyone, just give it up for Patsy Herndon. Hey, Patsy.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. Again, this is such a subject that needs to be talked about over and over and over until people get it.
Yeah,
It's a lot of times we can hear something a couple times, but it really doesn't resonate or it really doesn't kick in until after this multiple times. A lot of us, it takes us a few times to get
yeah,
things. And I'm just glad you're on here so we can talk about that.
yes,
But before we get to that, y'all know we do this segment. And I know I haven't done it the last 2 episodes because it was kind of like, on a serious note, even though today is also, but in light of Valentine's Day, being yesterday, wink, wink. I want to talk about this a story, and this segment we're going to do that in this segment called "What in the World." That's my cheesy graphics for those of you who are watching, and if you are listening to us on a streaming platform that is audio only, you can look at us on our YouTube page, okay, of the same name, Kicking It with K Marie. All right, and we stream on every streaming platform. All right, so this I found this article. It's from a few years ago, and it's 11 real Valentine's Day horror stories. Y'all know I'm all about horror, right? So it was one. I thought it was like, oh, it was cute, but
Mm.
being in high school, I can see how devastating this one can be. So let me go here. So it's called Singing to Herself.
Mhm.
So it says this is a story that somebody wrote in about their horror, on Valentine's Day. So she said, when I was in high school, we had singing telegrams every Valentine's Day. Pause. I think those are just so cute. I will love a telegram like at the job or something like that.
They don't have that personal touch anymore.
They
You just
don't,
send a
but
text.
right. I mean, they still do them though, but
Oh, really?
they do. Yeah, they
Okay.
still have companies that do them, and I think somebody that I know, he's a singer. I think his brother
Hmm.
was doing it as well. Somebody that's local
Oh,
in
okay.
Metro Detroit. But yeah, I think those are just so I like those. I'm corny like that.
It's a personal touch.
It is. Okay, so she said when I was in high school, we had singing telegrams every Valentine's Day. Basically, the most popular singer guys going to classroom singing, "Isn't She Lovely" and "My Girl," and giving roses to girls. Only the hottest girls got them. Yeah, I know, right?
Oh.
That's high school for you. Um, like you could judge hotness based on roses, she says. Anyway, after enduring this every year from 7th to 10th grade, I'd had enough. I was like Jennifer Lopez in Enough, and I just saw that earlier today. It's one of my favorites.
Hmm.
I wanted to get a effing singing telegram. I decided to buy an anonymous one for myself.
Mm. Buying the
Right.
roses for yourself
Right.
and getting them delivered.
She said I filled out a form and paid $3. But when V Day came, the singing seniors never came to my AP US history class.
Oh.
So I went up to one of the senior hotties and explained that I wanted my money back because my telegram hadn't been delivered, which I knew because I ordered it for myself. He was either too dumb or too polite to laugh at me outright. But yeah, thinking back, pretty embarrassing. Mm.
Yes. Oh.
So I want to ask you, Patsy, have you ever had, like over the years, a just a crazy, strange Valentine's Day?
Have I ever had a strange Valentine Day?
While you're
I,
thinking about that, you could think if on it. I want to. I can tell mine. I have mine
okay.
already ready. So it wasn't actually on Valentine's Day, but it was the day before.
Hmm.
And I went on a date. I wouldn't call it a blind date because we met, um, and it was just like, he asked me to go out. So, I don't know this man. Nice, very nice looking, very.
Hmm.
Um, but it was like the date from hell.
Oh, wow.
Yes. One of the things that turned me off, and I may have spoken about it on this platform, I'm not sure, was that because I had him meet me at I love tea. I love
Hmm.
coffee and tea, but
Hmm.
there's this tea bar that I go to in Metro Detroit, and it's just lovely. So I had him meet me there.
Hmm.
So you know how the tables, you sit in front of each other, right?
Hmm.
He sits next to me.
Oh,
I was like, who does that?
oh,
Don't even know. I'm like, oh,
exactly. You invading.
invading my space. Yes. So,
Yes.
my got a crick in my neck because I'm turning like this sideways, and then, we're talking and um I could just tell, you could just tell what certain guy what they want because at
Hmm.
one point in the conversation, again, this is my first time like outside of meeting him in person for a few minutes, exchanging numbers and talking on the phone like once. The first
Hmm.
time that I'm actually like really, really meeting this person.
Right.
And he like put his hand like on my thigh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's
So
red flag.
oh, there's so many red flags. So many. He had gotten a divorce, blaming everything on her. I'm
Oh
like,
wow. Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
But yeah, and it,
Yeah,
it
that
was the day before Valentine's Day, so that's the only
that
thing I can think of. What about
Well,
you?
I guess I was probably not because I was ugly or anything. That high schooler person or that
Hmm.
middle schooler person that did not get any of the Valentine, cards or flowers they used to get delivered. I don't know if it was that I was a quiet, shy person, but you always admired the popular person that got it. But it wasn't that I was ugly or anything.
Right,
I just wasn't that hottie toddy person
right.
that was out there. So I think that could be mine until I got older and recognized that a lot of that wasn't because of anything that was wrong with me. It was
Hmm.
just, hey, that I probably wasn't offering what they was offering and wasn't willing
Right.
to offer it. And so that's why I didn't get those little candies and roses in 10th grade or ninth
Hmm.
grade. So
Yeah, but
you live and learn.
you do. You live and learn. So, with that being said, I hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day or Galentine's Day. I know I'm going to a Galentine's Day event. I just joined this new social club, Black Girls Social Club,
Okay.
Detroit chapter. So
Mhm.
we are actually going to go to the sugar factory.
Oh wow. That
Hmm.
should be fun. I
It
know a lot
should
of
be.
people are doing like the speed date. Like a lot of just single girlfriends are doing like the speed date thing for Valentine's Day too, just for something fun to do as well.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
we're doing that actually after
Okay.
the Galentine's is after. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Okay, y'all. So um like we were saying earlier, the last episode was um how to spot pretty much a toxic person or seven traits. I know there's more, and like I,
Mhm.
urged you guys to, just do your own little research on
Yes.
that because it's way more than seven, especially
Yes.
when I was researching it. But yeah, like I said, I can actually speak on this topic because I have been in a relationship that was not healthy overall.
Mhm.
Um
Mhm.
and I had to I just thank God for my girls because they were there for me, like for real. And then like
Right.
just going away and
Yes.
like for a week, on vacation, that really helped a lot. But what really helped me, because I
Mhm.
had to figure out like why do I keep going back to this person? What is it? Because once
Mhm.
I pinpoint that, because I didn't
That's
want to
right.
keep, I didn't want to go back. I was like, oh,
Right.
that was it.
Mhm.
So it was revealed to me why. It
Yes.
really didn't have nothing to do with him per se.
Mhm.
It was said that I like the idea of us. Like that
Yes. The
storybook.
image.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I was like, "Oh my God, that is it."
Mhm.
I'm like, "That
Mhm.
is it." And once
Mhm.
I got that, I'm telling you, it's like so much has been like just taken off of
Yes.
me.
Yes. Yes.
Um
Yes.
And
Definitely.
and like I said, I have no ill will towards him or anything. I wish him the best. I really, really do. And I'm sincere in that.
Mhm.
But you just have to do what's right for you to keep peace,
Exactly. Exactly.
because
Anything that's taking your peace is too expensive. Like
mm-hmm.
you just, it's not worth it. Your peace being destroyed is basically destroying you physically, mentally, and emotionally. So
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
it's not worth it. And again, I mentioned this last episode, like for me, like when you find yourself crying more than like laughing, it's an issue.
That was one of the toxic relationships that I broke up with. I woke
Mm,
up one morning and I just said, you know, you cry more than you laugh. In these
mm,
last 2 years, you cried more than you laughed.
mm.
That's not good.
It's not.
That's
It's
not good
not.
at all. Crying
It's
at
not.
work, crying at lunch, crying at nighttime. Like it's like when am I smiling and when am I laughing?
Yes, this drain. So,
Yes,
crying
yes,
takes so much,
yes.
so you
Emotional
just draining.
fatigue. Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yes.
All right, Patsy, I'm
Okay.
gonna try not to call you what I normally call.
I know that means you know me for a very long time. Exactly.
Right. So, why don't you go ahead and just dive in and
Okay.
just let us know what you want us to know.
Okay, so she's been talking about toxic relationship, and it's so fitting for this month of love. You know, Valentine's Day is celebrated more than on the 14th.
Hmm.
Um, we're gonna talk, she talked about 7 signs or flags of a toxic relationship, and everybody's just like we were just saying, why are you still there? Just leave, just leave, just leave. It is it's very challenging to
Yes.
leave. Yes, it's beneficial to leave, but it's challenging. So I
Yes.
want to talk about today reasons why it's hard to leave. And then I want to talk to you about ways to prepare for that leaving that toxic relationship.
Love it.
So, for those that are friends, that are loved ones of someone that's in a toxic relationship, the reasons why it's hard to leave will help you to have compassion to help
Yes.
that person on that journey. So, let's just start about the first reason why it's hard for that person, that they are well aware, they're not ignorant that they're in a toxic relationship. They know they're in a toxic relationship. So the first reason why it's hard for them to leave is fear.
Mm-hmm.
They have fear that this person might physically hurt them. Fear that, especially if they're living together or they're married, fear that they can't provide for themselves. Because a lot of times in toxic relationships, it's a level of control, and sometimes they might say, I don't want you to work, I just want to take care of you, I want you to just stay home and be pretty and take care of the house,
Mm-hmm.
which is nothing wrong with that in a
Right.
wonderful setting. However, sometimes in those toxic relationships, it's for control, because
Hmm.
now they know that you're not working, that you're not able to provide yourself, you have a hard time leaving. So your fear of being physically hurt by that person and fear that you cannot provide for that person.
Hmm.
So loved ones, I want you to hear these reasons, because you can be a substitute to remove some of those reasons and barriers for them being able to leave. For example, with the fear of not being able to provide for themselves, if you're a mom and sister and you got a couch, a room, hey, well, you can camp out here for a few months while you get your
Hmm.
life together, while you get a job. Guess what? That removes that fear of not being able to provide for themselves to
Yes.
be able to make that decision. Next, if you have children, sometimes they scared to, they reluctant to leave that relationship because of the children. They're concerned about custody battles with that person. They're concerned about how it may hurt the children. What are
Hmm.
the children going to think if I leave that toxic relationship? Because, as I said, a lot of toxic relationship, that person, and I'm not just saying males are toxic. It could be
Right.
the female that's the
Come
toxic
on
one
now.
in a relationship. They're afraid that they might try and get custody of that person 100%, and they'll never see that person because you don't know what words they've been telling that person. If you leave me, you're never going to see your children again.
Hmm.
If you leave me, your children ain't going to never like you. You don't know what they've been
Exactly.
planting. So that's another reason those children, they afraid for their children. Another one is love. We all need love. God made us to desire love, want love. because that's why he made us to want him, because he is love.
Yes, he
And
is.
he sends his love through people. So that's why we gravitate towards people to get that love. And they feel like they have failed, like failed that other person. Like, I failed you in loving you. Although that person has been toxic.
Mm-hmm.
I failed you in loving you. And sometimes they feel like they'll never find love again. Not, although that wasn't real love, but they feel like
Right.
they'll never find that love again. So they're afraid that they failed that person in love and that they'll never find love again. And definitely finances. If you depended, financially dependent on that person, even if you guys are both working, but it takes both of us to maintain this lifestyle we
Mm-hmm.
have, that Mercedes, the 4 bedroom house, they're afraid that, hey, I can't do this.
Right.
What I'm gonna do? How I'm gonna do? We got to go in an apartment. All those are reasons that they don't want to leave. And lastly, which is the big, I mean, not last one, but the next one is big, shame. Remember when you said the image, you wanted the image? We're
Yeah.
ashamed of, how can I explain this wonderful image? Because you always protected the toxic instead
Right.
of the
I mean,
people.
it's like, because I know we've said, and like on social media, nobody's not going to put up the bad
That's
stuff.
right. That's right. That's
You
right.
know.
We only gonna put the love bomb moments. That's what I'm
Right.
gonna say. We put the love bomb moments on there. And so we are ashamed that, because how can we explain? Because all they've seen was love bombs. We go out to dinner as love bombs. We go to parties as love bombs. We go to weddings as love bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas holidays is love bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all they say. And it's like, how am I explain
Mm-hmm.
that, oh no, this is not working out? And then I had to explain that I sat there and protected all
Mm-hmm.
this and lied to say, now this is what she did. This is what really who he is. So that's making me look bad. So you're ashamed. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't deal with that shame. I can't deal with that guilt. So I'm just gonna stay here. So that's families and loved ones. That I told you so. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Save it.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just embrace them and be grateful that they got out. They already know I told you so. Um,
Exactly. And like you said, they a lot of times they know, but like a lot of, well, I guess we can probably get into them when you get more into the how, but they wishing, they're hoping that it's going to turn around.
yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what and I'm gonna have to say this for myself, where I was in that toxic relationship. I'm wishing and hoping to turn around. And then I also wish that he'll just leave so I can have no other reason.
That's good. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so he broke up with me, so I could just say I'm broken because he broke up with me. He left me, and I don't have to explain. Because if you're the person that cut it off, now I got to explain this whole thing of
That's
why,
good.
you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
And so the next one is codependency.
Mm.
Okay. Codependency is such a paralysis behavior, shall I say? Because it's not codependency, it's just now it's always you paying the bills or whatever. Codependency is, I have to be needed. So I'm not sure if you know of people, I know people that they don't even know how to date, that they date codependency. So they find spaces where, quote unquote, this partner may be lacking, where they're not necessarily lacking because they're okay with that lifestyle, but you think they're lacking. So you come in first, second date, you wash the clothes, you clean the dishes, you go to grocery shopping, you take babysit the kids, you buy the kids clothes. That's codependency, because
That's good.
I need to feel needed. And if I give you those things that you thought you didn't need, oh, you're gonna now have to depend on me to
Mhm.
get you that stuff. So
Mhm.
codependency is another big one, like, because I have to feel needed, and if I leave, who's going to need me? Who's going
Yeah.
to fulfill my need? So those are all reasons why it takes a while for a person to make that decision to say, I'm leaving.
Mhm.
Fear, those children involved, lack of love,
Mhm.
finances, the shame, and codependency. So go ahead.
Because I know I touched on this a little bit, but again, y'all, I'm so not a therapist. Uh, um, is it safe to say, because some people might be saying, well, they okay, is it safe to say that not all people who are toxic are abusers? Because someone may be like watching, it's like, well, it's some stuff I okay, but they're in a toxic relationship, but they're probably thinking that they're not, because they probably think like it has to involve some type of like physical or something like that, abuse.
Okay, so anything toxic can't be healthy.
Yes.
So, and just because they're not physically putting their hands on you does not mean it's not abuse.
Hmm.
There is mental and emotional abuse. Anytime someone tries to control your thinking pattern, that's abuse.
Yes.
Toxicity, like, because a lot of toxic relationships, they try to cut you off from your support system, your friends and your family. Not necessarily say you can't go there, but they be like, well, did you think about Sally? You, you, you know, Sally, I think she's jealous of you. She's jealous because you got a man. And your mom, you know what? She always try to tell you what to do. She don't even want you to grow up. She still see you as a little kid.
Right, putting that in their head. Yeah.
Yes. So
Hmm.
that's a level of abuse because what are
Hmm.
they doing? Controlling your thinking. They're taking away your autonomy.
Yes.
Anytime your autonomy is taken in a relationship, because you just as adult as that person is an adult,
Hmm.
that is abuse. No toxic relationship can be healthy. So just don't think because they're not physically abusing you or calling you B's and
Right.
H's doesn't mean that it's not abusive. But when they're controlling your thinking, controlling and saying, "Oh my God, you look a little thick in them pants.
Hmm.
Did you gain 5 pounds?"
Right.
It's
You
like
sure you want to eat that?
exactly that's
Yeah.
abuse. Yeah, and it's a difference between looking out for the health of your mate,
Yes.
such
Yes.
as, hey, sweetie, let's look at our blood pressure, our cholesterol. Let's work out
Yeah.
because just because you're a size 4 don't mean you healthy.
Come on.
So it's a difference between that. But yes, toxicity is unhealthy and period. I don't care if it's
Hmm.
the nicest woman, the nicest man, it's toxic for you. That
Yes.
means it's not good.
Yep.
That person is not good for you. Okay. So I do want to move on to those reasons. Loved ones, friends, if you know someone that's in a toxic relationship, remember those fear factors and start creating that safe space for them that can kind of take them on that journey to say, I do, okay, I can leave. It's a possibility for me
Yes.
because if I leave, okay, I don't have to worry about, where I'm going to live. I don't have to worry about if they're going to talk about me and say this and say that. And, you know, even with the children, if, he has to do 50-50, okay, you get 50%. Like being that reality, because in Michigan, a lot of them get 50-50. Like the judges are
Mm.
starting to really try to give men rights and women rights. They've given 50-50. So it's just accepting your reality, but know that it's not the end of the world. And family and
Mm.
friends being there to support them through that. Just let
Mhm.
them know, okay, even if it is 50-50, if you got to leave and he take 50-50 on the children, you get them 50% of the time, maximize that 50% and give them everything you got in that 50%.
Yeah.
Like you can create that environment for them. So let's talk about ways to leave
Yes.
a toxic relationship. It is not the easiest thing. You think it's the end of the world, but guess what? When you get out of it, I know Kalani can attest, I can attest, it is actually a new birth.
It is so much peace, and then
Yes,
when you do start dating again, and you're with someone, you're like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be.
yes. You actually, it's like a new opportunity. You know how you say, how you be like, if you could go back to what age to make decisions over, what age,
Yes.
it's almost like you're giving you another chance to live again.
Yes.
So I understand the challenge. I understand that it's hard and it's
Mhm.
tough, but on the other side, It's a
Yes.
new birth, a
Yes.
new
It's so
opportunity
worth
to
it.
start. Yes. So let's start off by first thing you need to do is sometime you can do it while you're in there so you can be prepared when you leave, is build a social support.
Mm.
Because as I said earlier, in those toxic relationships, you unconsciously disconnect from your social support because your consumption is with that person. You spend a lot of times with that person, and then you're trying to, outside of the love bomb, you're trying to figure out how to make this person happy again because they just so they upset, they mad at you, so you're trying to figure out how to make them happy. Your social life is zero. So create that social support. Start thinking about people that you can trust. Like Kalani, you said your girlfriends. They were there for you. They helped you. They hold your hands up.
Yeah,
Like
them,
Aaron did.
my mom, brother, them. Yes.
Yes. So start building that. It might not be 30 people. It might
Mm-hmm.
be 5 people that you could start, 3 people you could start building that support with that can let you know, hey, okay, so this is what I'm facing. I want to leave, but this, and that. They're your social support. Build that social support, those people that you can trust.
Mm-hmm.
Next is explore ways to become more independent, because remember, we say you depend on that person. You depend on that person for happiness. You depend on that person for being valued, to
Mm-hmm.
be validated. So it's actually like creating that independency that is outside of that person. It could be, you might actually want to start, if you're not working, start looking for a part-time job.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to actually start exercising. You don't exercise. I'm gonna start exercising. Start saying, okay, I'm going over mom's house for Sunday dinner, or I'm gonna go hang out with my friends for to get coffee. Start building that independency. Because and you notice as I notice, you don't expect a toxic relationship. They be like, today I'm done, tomorrow they absolutely leave. Because if
Right.
they leave tomorrow, they coming back the next day.
Right.
But just start this journey. If you start to do those little things, guess what? You're gonna start developing that independency and that confidence in who you lost, because you lose yourself in this toxic
Mm.
relationship, and you start to
Yes.
discover, like, because I can remember my toxic relationship. I just did not think I was beautiful at
Mm.
all, because he would say some not nice
Mm-hmm.
comparison. He did a lot of comparison
Mm.
to exes and other people, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was beautiful. And I used to get angry at men that would say, "Oh my God," try to talk to me like, "You so fine." I want to just choke him because I'm like, "No, I'm not. Stop it."
Oh, wow.
So, but when I got out of it, I was like, "Oh my God, you are so gorgeous, girl.
Right.
Look at
Like
you.
I'm the ish. Like
Girl, look at you, runway model. So that's why I say that new start. Like I began to discover, and I went on, like you said, those coffee dates with me and just chilling and just reading it and just enjoying myself. And I was like,
mm-hmm.
oh, you are fun, girl. I enjoy you. So
Yes.
just exploring that independency, whatever it may look like. It's
And
small steps. Go ahead.
and like you said, like build a support and explore more ways to be independent. Because when I was getting out of mine, because people who listen loyally knows that I was like a couple months away from my wedding,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I just had because I just had to leave. I had to leave. I left
Right.
my house, because
Mhm.
he was still, he still had his stuff still here, and
Mhm.
um, I went over my mom's. I stayed with my mom, just
Mhm.
over there because I didn't want any type of interaction,
Right.
and I was nice, because
Yeah.
uh, at first he was like, I have 90 days to leave, and one of my good friends, her sister, because she's a property manager, she was like, no, boo, it's 30 days, and I can
Okay.
go remove. I'm like, no, no, no. I was like, but I gave him 60. I said, do what you need to do, 60 days,
Mhm.
and and leave.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but I
Exactly.
did say what I removed myself from the situation, and
Mhm.
I stayed with my mother. I was on her couch, with her,
Mm-hmm.
and for like a good like for 2 months.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Just those little steps of independency get you to that point. Even if it's like if he paying the cell phone bill, go get your own phone and start paying your own cell phone bill. Like
Yep.
just those little steps of independency to build yourself to the point, because the day is going to come
Mhm.
that you do say, "Hey, we're parting ways."
Yep.
Um, Next is lean on family and friends on and others as you are leaving to prepare for leave. Lean on family, friends, and others as you prepare to leave.
Mhm.
Now, some people do this, which it might be helpful for some, but not. They lean on the mate's family
Mm. Hmm.
because some of them are very close
True,
to
and
the
they may
mate's
not have,
family.
family, or okay, I get
Yes.
that.
Now, I want those that do lean on the mate's family, I want you to make sure and be secure in yourself that they are fair. Because, like my dad, he is wrong is right and right. I don't care if who do it. If I do it, you do it.
Yeah.
My whoever is wrong or right. Make sure they're fair. If they're not fair, find someone else because they will convince you to try to stay with that person
Mm.
if they're not
And like I
fair.
mentioned earlier, I was
Hmm.
watching one of my favorite movies, Enough, with Jennifer
Uh huh.
Lopez,
Uh
and her husband's, Billy Campbell, the one that was playing the abuser.
huh.
She confided in his mom, and she was just like, basically, like, "What did you do?" To make,
Yeah.
yeah, and trying to convince her to stay. So you right,
Hmm.
they have to be impartial.
Yeah, so if not, find someone else. If it's a coworker, sometimes our coworkers can become friends and family.
Mhm.
Find someone that you could start leaning on to talk and not venting to, but lean on. Like I know I need to change. I just need someone to lean on to be there for me because you got to be aware of those love bombs as we were just talking about
Mhm.
because they come and the person knows when you're getting ready to make that decision
Mm.
and they love bomb you. They're like, okay, I noticed she's distancing, or I noticed that he's doing this, I know that he's doing that, and they, okay, let me get some roses, let me bring her his
Girl,
favorite food. Oh, okay, let me get some tickets to the Pistons games for him. they
girl.
they notice that.
Yes, because look, again, I'm speaking my truth. This is what
Right,
happened
is that girl, we
to me,
look.
just in case, it's like I said, it's not about him, this is not about me,
Right.
what I went through. And when I would come to the house, like get my mail and stuff like that, and I would run, into him.
Hmm.
Can we talk? I want to stay. We can still get married.
Hmm.
I'm like, no, I'm
Right,
done. No.
exactly. So you do have to be aware of those love bombs because okay, then there's a goodness, there's a season, shall I say, that the love bomb could be successful. Okay, they
Mm.
know if you stay away too long, you find yourself. And that love bomb, you're gonna laugh at it. Like, dude, you think I'm real stupid again? No, sorry.
Right, right. Again, right. In my
I'm sorry, girl. I can get you 1,000 times better. Like, no, I'm sorry. But they know if they don't catch you in that certain time frame, that 60, 90-day time frame, they probably lost you for good and they got to work super, super hard to get you back. Which 9 times out of 10, you're not coming back because they have gotten their new life, I'll call it, to see their true self. They begin to tap in to see who they are, who truly they are.
Mhm.
But that's why when people say, well, we be friends, we broke up, we friends, we still hang out. Mm-mm, not
Say
healthy.
that one more time. I don't understand. I don't
Me
understand
neither.
why people are still friends, still communicating with someone that they left because they were in a toxic relationship. I
Exactly.
I I had to block numbers and do all kind
Yes.
of stuff. I don't look. I have not looked at no type of social media for
Hmm.
him. Even like back um, when we were separating, I guess,
Uh-huh. In the
um,
process.
in a process. And I didn't I have not looked because I don't care.
Right.
And no, I'm not gonna be still friends with. And I
Hmm.
mean, if I see him on the street, I'm gonna be cordial.
Right. That's it.
But yeah, that's
Hmm.
it. But friends and still talking and communicating, like, no.
And that's the thing about it. And I tell people this all the time. When you say we still could be friends and hang out, what you're doing is prolonging the healing. What you're saying is that I don't want to go through this painful process. So we could say we broke up, but that we friends and healing. Because guess what gets still getting fed? Those feelings on the inside are still getting met that you're never healing. It's just
Mm-hmm.
that there's no quote unquote title to what you guys got going on.
Yeah.
So it's very unhealthy. It's very toxic. So when he or she go out with somebody else, you still get mad and upset because although there's no title, you still have that
Mm-hmm.
situation. It's very unhealthy. You have to cut
Cut it.
ties.
Yes.
Cut it totally. What and that's that fear factor. What you afraid of when you cut those ties. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be alone. I won't be with anybody. But that's when you have your social support. That's why you got to build a social support. Being alone don't always have to be the opposite sex. It's just being with people that love you, that
Yes.
support you, that encourage you. That's just another level when we're talking about an intimate relationship. But learn how to have platonic relationships because
Yes.
that prepares you for the intimate relationship. Because if you can't be a friend at a platonic level, you definitely can't be a friend at intimate level. All of it's
No,
about
no.
sex at that point,
Right.
which is unhealthy
Right.
because you ain't on your back all night, all day. You got to be able to talk through some stuff, create some
Right.
stuff.
Yes.
Um,
I
so
like that.
definitely start lean on family and friends. Be very selective on who you pick that you're going to lean on. And next, get help from professionals, therapists, attorneys, um, law enforcement. We don't know how deep your toxic
Right.
relationship is.
Right.
If you had kids, definitely I would say go talk to an attorney because sometimes toxic relationships, that person might have a little bit of power
Mm.
and they might have more. I've had people that I've talked to, that toxic person had a lot of finances,
Mm.
and so it's like they had the power to get 100% control of the children, and you just
Mhm.
get to on a weekend. But talk to an attorney. Don't think because they have all this money that you can't get some of what you want to. Go talk
Mhm.
to an attorney. If you feel like your life is threatened, bring in a law enforcement. Get you a PPO.
Mhm.
Start, get all that stuff in place. I know everybody like that don't mean nothing. That's a piece of paper, but I'm sorry. When it's in place, it means a lot. That if
Uh-huh.
God forbid something happens,
You have something on paper.
you go. So definitely, and go talk to a therapist. Go talk to a therapist
Yes.
because those things have to be sorted out in your mind, and your emotions have to be kind of sorted out so you can now move forward with with a rational thought pattern. Because to get, let's just say, to get us there and for us to stay there was some things that we had going on, and I had to admit for myself things I had going on in myself that allowed me to stay there, that I
Mhm.
had to work out myself
Mhm.
to stay out of that mess and stay out of
Mhm.
it in the future. So go talk to a therapist. Don't be afraid to get a law enforcement involved. I mean, and see, a lot of people don't want to get law enforcement involved because they're so used to going back. And I get law enforcement involved, I really got to stay away because this person gonna be really, can I use this word, pissed off at me.
Mhm.
Okay, really pissed
Girl,
off.
look, I
So I don't want law enforcement until I'm final. I made that final decision because when I make it and I go back, they pissed off and they gonna make me pay for that.
Well, yes, but like for me, because this person I was with, we've been
Yeah.
knowing
Hmm.
each other since we were 15.
Right.
So, this in each other's life off and on. And
Hmm.
like the first time, like back in like 2011, I went to
Hmm.
law enforcement, all that.
Hmm.
6 years passed, bam, that's when we, got back together.
Reconnected.
so
Hmm.
just because I thought, and I told my family, like, okay, if I tell them this what happened, I didn't tell them this I was in a relationship, then I know that I'm good, I'm done. But
Hmm.
for me, that wasn't the case. But again, I had to find out like why and that's where the
Hmm.
professionals or friends, whomever, come into play so they can help you like figure out
Right.
that why,
Yep.
yeah.
Hmm. And is that? But I please don't. All I can say, please don't be afraid to bring the law enforcement in.
Yes.
It will. It does nothing but help you, and
Mhm.
that's male and female because some females are
Right.
abusive
Yeah.
to
I don't want to use the C
males.
word, but yes, they're
Yes,
yes.
there are some and males. Some males are raised very well that they not even gonna put their hands on you after you hitting them and throwing a chair and a table at them. So
Mhm.
don't be afraid to get the police, the law
Mhm.
enforcement involved. Get some PPO, get some paper on it, because you have to make sure as you're leaving everything you're safe and
Yes.
people around you are safe and your children are safe. So definitely go to a professional. Next, which we all talked about already, cut off contact with the person.
Yes.
Cut it. Cut social media. Block them off your phone. And I have this. Some parents still talk to the person. Tell your parents, tell your siblings,
Mm.
cut it off. Tell them that mom, dad, you don't need to talk to them. Don't block their phone number on your phone. Block them from your social media. Tell your friends that they don't need to talk to them and don't come to you about, girl, did you see what I seen? I seen Sam on Facebook and he do. Don't do it.
Yeah, I had to tell a few
Tell
of my
them
people like,
all.
don't, because I saw that he friended some like an acquaintance, casual friend of mine, and I'm like, huh.
Mhm.
And I had to like let her know, like, I don't care, but just don't be talking about me.
Exactly, exactly. And don't tell me what y'all talk about.
Exactly.
I could care less. And that's what I mean. Like, cut it all the way off. Like, this person's, it's almost to the point that this person is non existent in your life. They didn't
Yes.
exist. Cut it off. You cannot heal while you're still getting, while you're still getting the knife dug into the wound.
Yes.
You can't heal. So cut it all off. Cry, scream,
Mhm.
holler, do what you got to do, but cut it off so you can start healing. And
Yes.
because the thoughts really start to come to mind, and yeah, you might have some self-defeated thoughts when you start to come to mind, like, girl, you were so stupid, why did you let him do this? Though that's all part of the process. I
Yeah.
promise you, it's part of the process. So yes, those thoughts are gonna come, but you need to
Mhm.
acknowledge those thoughts, because guess what, as Kalani just said, that's part of your why.
Mhm.
That's part of your why you were there, why you allowed it. It's all part of your why. Oh my God. And the thoughts of, oh my God, I ain't going to be with nobody. Okay, why are you afraid to be alone?
Right.
So, all those are part of your why. You need those thoughts to come. Not that you sit in them and get spiral down into some deep depression,
Right.
but you need those whys so you can start answering, okay, this is where I need to go. This is what I need to work on. This is what I need to build up in me that helps you to get to know yourself. So, even if you have children, I know they say, okay, I got children. Even if you have children, have minimum contact. I had one person that her sister would meet up at this place to drop the
Mhm.
kids off to the ex-husband. because it was so toxic. She and him couldn't be in that same place.
Mm.
So the sister would just do the drop off and pick up. So there was no connection. And it definitely, if your kids are old enough, just have you call directly their cell phone.
See
Don't
that
even
part.
talk to
See,
me.
because I know of someone who they were in a toxic relationship as well, and kids were involved. They didn't have any together, but they they each had their own, and they all been a family for some years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when the young lady, she's old enough, and it's absolutely no reason to have contact, like
Mm-hmm.
because she's old enough to reach out to the person,
Right.
if she
Mm-hmm.
wants to. So don't use
Mm-hmm.
that as an excuse.
Exactly. And that's what because the person will also use that as an excuse.
Yep.
They will
Hmm.
let you know, well, we got kids together. So how I'm gonna talk to how I'm gonna meet my kid, how I'm gonna talk to my kids. Oh, we got birthday parties. What, we got Christmas together. You gotta, this is your child, and I'm not gonna keep your child from you. So you can communicate with your child. Even if you got to go to the police station to exchange, that there's no connection. It's ways to do this thing to keep yourself safe mentally, not just physically, but mentally, because sometimes that connection, and then you see it who in the car when they drop them off, when they pick the child up, all that is taxing on the mental state. So if you have someone, a close friend that is willing to do the drop off, pick off for your children, let them be your support for that moment, because you don't, until you fully heal, because you don't need to say, oh, he got a woman in the car. Okay, see, he was seeing her when he was with me. Where she come
Hmm.
from? And and you
Right,
coming
right.
home questioning your daughter, did she say anything to you?
Uh-uh.
What did she do?
Right.
That's too
That
much.
do happen. That do happen.
That's too much. That's slowing your healing process down. So
Yeah.
cut off total communication as much as you can. Even if you have children, become creative on the communication with the child. If the child is older, let the child be the communer with their own father or mother.
Yep.
Or if you got loved ones, let the loved ones be the transporter.
Hmm.
It's ways around it.
It
And
is.
lastly, you are to care for yourself as you transition out that toxic relationship. Caring for yourself is investing in you, going to therapy. If it's, we're spiritual, so get back in your spiritual life with God to reveal
Hmm.
you. That's going to eating healthy, because sometimes we don't eat at all, or sometimes we overeat during those times like that, and emotional eat. Getting
Hmm.
back to eating healthy, getting back to exercising, getting back to getting good sleep. That's
Hmm.
investing in yourself. Put some clothes on and feel good. Getting
Yes.
your hair done. All that is investing in yourself to make you feel better as you're going through this. And actually spending time, like some people like social things, like if it's going to a concert, go to a concert. I know you like to go to concerts a lot.
Hmm.
Treat yourself to a concert.
Hmm.
Like truly invest in yourself at whatever level you can afford to invest in yourself. Anybody can do it at any level. If that's taking your shower, your bubble bath, blow drying your hair and curling it, polishing your nails, you can do it at all levels. You don't have to have a whole lot of money to
Right.
invest in yourself.
Just
But
get,
you
like you said, I
can,
like that. Just get back to yourself
yes,
like that.
get back to that moment before. Where was I at where I was my happiest? We all evolve in happiness. We
Yes.
probably thought that happiness was 10 years ago, but we get even happier. But what was it like 10 years ago? What did I do? Try to pick up some of those things to start off with. Because you're like, I don't know what makes me happy, because you've been in that relationship so long and toxic. You forgot what makes you happy. Go
Right.
back to before the relationship. What made me happy? Oh, I used to be happy when I used to go on Taco Tuesday and just sit and have taco. Go do that
Hmm.
and start to evolve and to develop your happiness where you are today. And lastly, if you do feel like it's really domestic violence in this toxic relationship, you can definitely, I want to give you the National Domestic Violence Hotline. It is 1-800-799-6000. 7233. Once again, 1 800 799 7233. You don't have to fight this battle by yourself. And you might be a person to say, I don't have a mama, a sister, or anybody that I can go to. Call that number. They have shelters. When I say those shelters are so discreet,
Yeah, they are.
you don't even know it's a shelter. You don't even know it exists. You will be safe. They will help you get on your feet. They will help you and your children find placement. They will protect you. If you feel like you are in that situation and you have nowhere to go, call that number. You
Call
don't
that
have to
number.
stay there.
So just to reiterate what Patsy was saying on how do you get out of a toxic relationship, build a social support,
Mm-hmm.
explore more ways to become independent,
Mm-hmm.
lean on family and friends and others as you prepare to leave,
Mm-hmm.
get help from professionals, be it therapists, law enforcement, cut off all contact. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't don't play with that. Don't play around with that. Cut off
That's
all
right.
contact.
Mm-hmm.
And care for yourself as you transfer out of that toxic relationship. And then the 1-800 number for the domestic hotline, 1 eight
Yes.
hundred 799 7233. If you feel like that is your if that applies to you. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's some good stuff. That was some good
Yes.
stuff. And like you said, it's hard, but it's doable, y'all.
Mhm.
Trust me.
And I want you to know, ladies, gentlemen, you're worth it.
Yes.
You're valued. You're not what they say you are. You're more than that. So you're worth it. And someone else, you know how they say someone else's rags is your riches? You're
Mm,
never a rag. But if they see you as a rag, my God, you're somebody else's riches.
mm-hmm.
You just haven't discovered it yet. So you're valued. You're worth it and you're loved. I don't care if you did not get Valentine cards or candy or roses. You're loved by more than you know. Okay?
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for wrapping this up with a bow, with some very good information. I told y'all she good at what she do. Uh, you still you do virtual,
I do. I
and
do
is that
virtual.
can you do? Is it just only in your state, or is it
Well, I'm licensed in 5 states.
okay?
I'm licensed in Texas, Michigan, Georgia, West Virginia, and Delaware.
Okay, look at you. All right.
Hmm.
So if you all live in any of those states and you want some help, you need some professional help, just hook up with Patsy. How can they find you?
My email is P as in Paul, A as in Apple, F as in Frank, 533, A as in Apple, at hotmail.com.
All right. So there you have it. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you. This was really, really good. And I know that this will help people. I know that there are people because it is on my heart to do. Um,
Hmm.
so I know that the right people will hear this at the right time, and you will have courage and
That's
strength
right.
to get out.
Yes.
Okay, you will.
Yes.
Okay,
That's right.
so
That's
just
right.
take everything that Patsy said, um, put it to motion, get your
Hmm.
support system, and all of
Yes.
that, and just transition out of that. And
Hmm.
yeah, y'all, this is mm, yeah, I know this is gonna. I can just sense it. It's going to free a lot of people, and I thank you
Yes.
for your knowledge and your wisdom. I really
You're
do.
welcome. Thank you. Hmm.
So, don't click out just yet, but everybody else, y'all know we're going to be back with a whole new series next month, which is March. This year is kind of moving along.
It is first quarter.
First quarter, almost it's almost wrapping up.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys, again, when you listen to this, if you know someone who needs to hear this, share this episode with them. Again, we stream on every streaming platform, and for the most part, they have the little share tab. So go ahead and just send it to someone that you know who needs to hear this. Okay. And we will see you. I will see you next week. And again, just go on my link tree, the K Marie, for Patreon information, because it's going to be Patreon only shows and perks and benefits, and you can learn about all of that on the Patreon tab and my link tree. Know of upcoming projects and what I'm working on when I'm able to release them, films, and there's a tab for that as well. So I'm just a creator out here creating, y'all. So I'm happy. I'm in my bag. I'm in my lane.
Yes.
And and I think a lot of that probably would not have happened if I would have stayed in that.
Mm-hmm.
So yes. So when you get out, I'm telling you, it's so freeing, and you get to discover your love for your passions and different things. And y'all, I'm telling you, when I tell you, you'll see it y'all see. Okay,
yes,
so so go ahead, y'all, and share this episode, and have a great day. Have a great rest of the month. I won't see you until next month, but on social media, be posting stuff. So have a great one. Do something nice for someone. It's do something nice. Do something nice. Smile at somebody. Just that's free.
That's right.
Free. So thank you again, Patsy, and we are out, y'all, and I'll see you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's go. Let's go. It's time to turn up your radio. Turn up the radio. Just so you know, you're kicking it with K. That's all I'm gonna say. You're here now.